Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Thanks for taking the time to talk with me. I know it's cold out here. Throw that heat on, warm yourself up. But let me ask you a question. Why is it that you and I, we can go on vacation, have a business, get married, have kids, eat good food, and at the end of the day, we're ultimately sitting in a line waiting to die? Do you know who Bob Saget is?
Yeah.
He just passed away, man. We used to love watching that show, Full House. He was the main dad on it.
Yeah.
He was 65. He died on Friday, and he was probably making plans for next week that never came. So,
Probably.
what are your thoughts on the afterlife? What do you think is going to happen to you and I when we die?
I'm gonna go see God.
You're going to go see God?
Go
Okay.
see God.
So you
God's
believe in?
gonna open the door for me.
So you believe in God's existence?
Oh, very much
Okay.
so.
Do you what now? When you say God, explain yourself. The God of reincarnation, or really, I don't even know. I don't think reincarnation has a God. But which God are you talking about? Because there's a lot of gods compared to what the world
God
says.
in my heart, Jesus Christ.
So you're Jesus Christ. So you're born again. Are you born again?
I'm a born again Christian. Yeah.
So you're a Christian. Okay. So you know what the best-selling book of all time is?
Bible.
It's the Bible. So you've read it. You have a Bible.
Oh, yeah.
You read it every day.
No.
Let me ask you a question. If you had a wife or a girlfriend and you never read her love letters, your love would be in question, right?
Yeah.
So God's love letter to you is the Bible. So read it every day. It's your spiritual food.
I believe that. I believe that. I do.
You said you're born again. Now, are you a good person?
I think I am.
Okay, well, let's put that to the test. I don't know if you think about this. If you and I were to drive down this road, there's a posted sign at 45 miles an hour, and we decide, you know what, I'm going to drive down this road 100 miles an hour. What do you think is going to happen to us?
Give me a ticket and go to jail.
We're going to, they'd probably pull us out of our vehicles, arrest us on the spot for reckless driving, probably at that speed.
Yep.
So let's see if you're speeding. I know you said you're born again, but let's walk through the preciousness of Christ for a second, okay?
Sure.
How many lies have you told in your whole life?
Oh, Lord, I don't know.
Would you say countless?
Probably. I'm over 60.
Okay. You got a lot of lies under your belt. Okay, what do you call someone who tells lies? You call them liars, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You ever stolen anything ever in your whole life, irrespective of the value when you were a kid?
Back when I was a kid, yeah.
Yeah, me too. What do you call someone who steals things?
Thief.
So what are you?
I guess.
Lying thief.
I used to be a thief.
Yeah, used to be. And a lot of people think that used in the past, everything's
Since
in
those days, though, I've given a lot to a lot of people, and I help a lot of people.
Yeah. Well, that's good. But what we're doing is we're walking through God's character, His righteousness, the 10 Commandments. That's what we're doing. Psalm 19 verse 7 says, "The law of the Lord is perfect, converting the soul." It actually converts the soul and brings us to Jesus Christ. It humbles us, is what it does. It shows us how filthy, dirty we really are. So, you ever slammed your hand in a truck door, or you hit your finger with a hammer, and out of the pain and anger you say, G-O-D-D-A-M-N, that hurt?
Years ago, yeah, not no more.
Yeah, me too. I've done that before too. It's called blasphemy when we do that.
Yeah.
The God that gave you and I life, we've taken His name and used it as a cuss word to express disgust. Would you ever use your mom's name as a cuss word? Because you love her, you respect her, you honor her, but we don't respect God and honor Him when we use His name as a 4-letter filter word, like poop under our shoe.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I used to be that way.
Yeah. The OMGs, like you get a text and someone's dropping an OMG, most people don't even realize they're blaspheming God's name. This is the one that'll get most men, it'll nail most men to the wall. Jesus said, if you look at a woman and lust for her, you've committed adultery with her in your heart. You ever looked at a woman with lust?
Yeah.
You had sex outside of marriage.
Yeah.
So what'd you say your name was? Did I even ask?
No.
What's your name? My name's Michael. Thank you for taking the time to talk with me. Eric? Eric, here's the quick summation, man. I'm not judging you. This is for you to judge yourself, because I'm guilty too. You're going 120 miles an hour in a 45-mile-an-hour zone. You just told me you're a lying thief, a blasphemer, a fornicator, and an adulterer of heart. So, if God were to judge you by that standard, if you died today, would you be innocent or guilty?
Since I've been born again, I'd be more innocent than guilty.
You would be innocent because you're born again. Because you know what God has done for you through His Son, Jesus Christ, on the cross.
Right.
The 10 Commandments are God's moral law.
Right.
You and I broke that law, and Jesus stepped into the courtroom and he paid your fine, literally paid your sin debt in one moment of time because of his mercy, because he's rich in mercy. It wasn't possible for death to hold him. He walked out of the grave and he defeated you and I's greatest enemy, which is death. It's coming for us.
Right.
Again, people are dying. Betty White, 99 years old, passed away. I mean, we're not guaranteed another breath. Every breath we take is God's grace. So,
I completely agree.
get right with God. It sounds like you have. This is between you and the Lord, because I'm born again. I'm on my way to heaven. I know I'm going to go to heaven when I die because I'm trusting in Jesus Christ. I'm not trusting in my church attendance or my good works.
My heart and soul is with the good Lord above.
What's that?
My heart and soul is with the good Lord above.
Yeah, because you know what he's done for you. If you had godly sorrow over your sin, you realize how God had to nail his son to the cross to pay your sin debt in full. And that's exactly, and Jesus said, it is finished. That means paid in full. He said that on the cross just before he died. So it's no different than civil court, man. If you, like I said, if you were speeding, you got arrested for reckless driving, you're standing before a judge, the judge is going to say, Eric, this is really serious. It's going to be $10,000 in fines or 90 days in jail. You don't have the money to pay it.
Right.
You're going to spend your time in prison. But if someone comes in and pays the fine for you, you get to walk out of the courtroom even though you're still guilty. Same thing with Jesus Christ. So that's the preciousness of Christ. We broke the law and Jesus paid the fine. So I would encourage you as one believer to another to share your faith. Let me ask you a question. You have unsaved friends?
I have what?
You have unsaved friends.
Yeah, a couple.
What happens to them if they die in their sins?
They don't go up there.
They're going to go to hell.
Yeah.
We should be horrified of that. We should be running and telling, at least giving them a tract or warning them.
I've talked to them.
Yeah, you got to tell them and use the law to bring the knowledge of sin. You got to show them they're not good enough. Them trying to save them.
On their own.
Yeah, they're trying to get there on their own by their good works. It's impossible. It's like jumping over the farthest part of the Grand Canyon and hoping for the best. It's not going to work. Or being pushed out of an airplane door without a parachute on. You know what's going to happen to you. You're going to hit the ground at 120 miles an hour. So
Keep going.
God provides a parachute through Jesus Christ, but there's a difference between believing in a parachute and actually putting it on. And most people, it's still sitting under the seat. They haven't even put on the Lord Jesus Christ. So I thank you for your time. I just thank you for your soft heart for talking with me, and I just encourage you from one believer to another, share your faith.
Spread the word.
Because only what you give away to the Lord, give him, is the only thing you're going to take with you. Does that make sense?
Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, because that's the truth. We came into this world with nothing, and we're going to die with nothing. It doesn't matter. We can have all these things, and we can't hold on to any of it. Only what you give away is what's going to be there for you when you get to heaven. So does that make sense?
Yeah, a lot of sense.
So do me a favor. Read John chapter 3. Would you do that for me?
Sure.
All right. Well, sure. God bless you. Thank you for your time, Eric. Is there any final thoughts or questions you have on this?
No. Thank you.
Thanks for taking the time to talk with me. I really, and you can check this out on JMCK Ministries on YouTube if you want.
I do.
But I just share the gospel with
JMCK?
JMCK services. Ministries. I share the gospel because I love the Lord and I love the lost, and I want people on their way to heaven when they die. That's my only motivation with this. So. And Christians should be giving, not taking. I give of my time. I give the Lord an hour a day to share the gospel. And that's what we should be doing, man. So appreciate your time. Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Thank you.
God bless you.
Thank you.